we're going to get started shortly. Here is about 8:59. We have about another minute to go, but we're going to get started because everyone has this question. The number one question has been, where has Tyrone been for the past couple of months? And I just want to make sure that all of you are kept apprised of where I was and what we have going on upcoming. So just want to kind of let you guys know what's going on tonight. So we're going to get started in probably about another 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my screen here and go ahead and get started with the sharing so that we can get ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Let me check the time. It is still 8:59. Got a couple more seconds here to rock and roll before 9 o'clock gets started. As soon as 9 o'clock hits, we're going to get started. 9 o'clock on the dot. So I hope everyone's, having a wonderful holidays. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving, and hope you have a wonderful Christmas that's coming up. So it's 9 o'clock. So let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. I am back. So I can tell you, 2025 is going to be a power-packed year. I'm going to kind of give you guys an update of where I was for the past couple of months, but I can assure you, for the upcoming year for 2025 is going to be a great year for business. For those of you that are looking to get started with business, my aspiring entrepreneurs, is going to be a great year for you. And we're going to kind of walk through that on this evening to kind of talk about that a little bit. So for the past couple of months, I kind of give you guys a heads up. Back in February, I took a trip down to Cape Town, South Africa. My wife did a marvelous job of booking this trip for me, got me acclimated in Cape Town, took care of all of my hotel arrangements, and I was well taken care of. So if you guys are interested in any travel accommodations, she is a travel agent in the industry, and she will take care of you. So just reach out to me, and I can forward you her contact information. But yeah, I went down to beautiful Cape Town, South Africa. I needed some time alone just to wind down and relax, to clear my head. And this view that you're seeing right now, I'm at the V&A waterfront at the mall. I'm sitting on the balcony area, getting to something to eat, and I'm just taking a view at that waterfront, guys. This mall is awesome. I had a great time there, and I can tell you, if you haven't visited Cape Town, take this opportunity to go visit them. So after I came back from Cape Town, right, I started to reassess a lot of things, right? I started to take a look at where I was in terms of business and what I needed to work on. And so while doing this 10-month time away, I just took some time to research, right? And I started to really to try to figure out the business climate in Cape Town, South Africa. I did a lot of research. And doing this research, I just became so inundated. I kind of became like a kid in a candy jar because I was just so surprised by a lot of the things I had seen. And I can tell you, I was just blown away by what I had seen. So I just, took a bunch of pictures, and I just kind of, wanted to show you guys the two slides. On the first left part of the screen, I took a picture by Nelson Mandela, while I was in Cape Town. And this right part of the screen, I'm at Tabletop Mountain in Cape Town, South Africa. Let me tell you, this day was sort of like cloudy. It doesn't really give a good view of the city, but at this view, you can actually look down on the city, and the nighttime view is just really awesome. So, I had a great time, got an opportunity to learn a lot about business, and really wanted to take all that information and come back and share, right? So as you guys know, over the past couple of months, I put out a lot of business content to you. I put a lot of business credit videos, a lot of business startup videos, just kind of teaching you and educating you about building your business the right way, right? And so now I'm ready to take business really to the next level. And I say next level, I'm really wanting to work with those individuals who are ready to get started with business, right? Now, I know I've worked with a lot of you. You set up your businesses. A lot of you that already have businesses, you were able to use some of the tools and tips that I share with you to enhance your businesses. A lot of the aspiring entrepreneurs, right? A lot of you wanted to, get started, and some of you got started, but there's a lot of you that didn't get started, right? And I can tell you, with the 2025 presidential election, 2024 presidential election that had just occurred. So we got, 2025 comes along, the president-elect is going to take the oath of office to become president again. And I can tell you the climate that's coming up is ripe for business, right? And I'm not here to get into politics or kind of talk to you about the election or anything like that. I'm just giving you the data and giving you the facts, right? And so we all know that the president-elect is soon to be president. He's a business friendly and extremely business friendly president in terms of the business climate, right? And so I'm just encouraging all my aspiring entrepreneurs, for those of you that are on the fence and thinking about getting started in business, you may want to go ahead and get started. I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to talk about that in the next couple slides here. So here's where we're going with this, right? And I want you to pay attention to both sides of the screen here. So on the left part of the screen, we have the slide where we're talking about employees, right, on the left part versus business owner. And you will notice that I have Uncle Sam at the top of the screen on the employee side, and it says that's first position. And the reason why Uncle Sam is first position, because what happens as an employee when you get paid, Uncle Sam's going to be there waiting on your money, right? And you will notice that the employee themselves is at the bottom of the screen. This employee is at the bottom of the screen because after Uncle Sam gets his cut of her taxes, right? And after all her other expenses, her payments come out, she's going to kind of get what's left over as an employee. So as you all know, as an employee, you sort of like get what's left over out of your paycheck, although you're the one that's working. You're getting the leftovers out of your paycheck. Now, on the right part of the screen, right, Uncle Sam takes a last position. So on the right part of the screen, we have a business owner, right? And we have Uncle Sam at the bottom right corner. And the reason why Uncle Sam is at the bottom right corner and not at the top on the business owner side, it is for the simple fact that what happens, this business owner gets their money, right? And so they have their earnings. And what happens after they pay all their deductible expenses, Uncle Sam gets what's left over. He then taxes what is left over, right? So that's why he gets the actual last position. So let's go over. I'm going to kind of go through this scenario with you on both sides of the screen, with the left and the right, right? So I'm just used for a hypothetical example. We're saying that the employee, they're going to get $1,000 a week, and the business owner gets $1,000 a week. Now, I know that some of you definitely make way more money than this, and business owners make way more money than this. And some of you may make less of money than this on the W-2 side, right, as an employee. But we're just using this for hypothetical purposes, right? So on the left part of the screen, let's talk about the employee, right? This is where my aspiring entrepreneurs lie right now. They're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, but they're just not quite sure yet. They're thinking about it. So they're making $1,000 a week. And what happens, Uncle Sam immediately takes $270 out of their check. Again, this could be higher or lower for some of you, but just play along with me here for a moment. So Uncle Sam takes $270 out of their check, right? So they're left with $730. But then they have a car payment. Some of you may or may not have a car payment, but just for hypothetical purposes, play along with me. They have a car payment that's coming out, and it's $500. And then they have a cell phone payment that's coming out $100. And then they have their kids' allowance. They have kids, and they're paying their kids a weekly allowance of $20 a week, right? And for meals, they're averaging about $180 a week, right? So that's including the lunches and all the meals that they're eating out at home. Total $180. So this employee is left in the negative of negative $70. So what they're probably doing, they're probably using their credit cards or pretty much borrowing money from somewhere else to offset that negative $70, right? So they're in the negative. And this is the employee side. Now, for those of you, right, my aspiring entrepreneurs, right now, some of you have already been hit with layoffs. Some of you will be hit with layoffs. So you have to go ahead and think about this, because your thought process got to be, okay, if you're about to get hit with layoffs that you don't know about yet, or you've already gotten hit with layoffs, you have to start thinking, okay, am I going to really start thinking about starting up my small business while I'm also looking for another job? If I've gotten hit with a layoff, this has got to be your thought process, right? And the reason why I say this got to be your thought process, because the president-elect, which is going to be the president, right? There's going to be some layoffs in the industry, right? Some industries are going to be affected with these layoffs, right? And so you have to start training your mind and positioning yourself right now. Just say, okay, before 2024 closes, I have to think about proceeding with starting up my business. So with that being said, let's go ahead and transition over to the right part of the screen, right? So on the right part of the screen, this is my existing business owners. A lot of you already have your businesses already. And, for aspiring entrepreneurs, I want you to pay close attention to this right part of the screen, right? So we have our business owner. They're getting weekly payments of $1,000. Again, I know a lot of business owners make a lot more money than this, right? But hypothetical, again, $1,000. Then they have a deduction, right? $500 for a car. It's a deduction. Notice on the left part of the screen is payments, but on the right part of the screen, it's a deduction. So they got $500 being deducted out for their car, $100 being deducted out for a cell phone, $120 being deducted out for meals. And this business owner, notice that they have an employee in their business that's a family owner, which they decided to hire one of their kids. And that's $80 coming out, right? And they have $100 coming out for Index Universal Life, right? And that Index Universal Life, they have money being put there because they're using this as a deferred payment method for themselves, right? And so what you're to do, talk to your accountant about this, because business owners have a way of deferring their payments in a certain account for them to get their payments. Just FYI on that, but you got to talk to your CPA about that. Then Uncle Sam notices Uncle Sam only takes $27 out. Over here, he's taking $270 out as an employee, but on the business owner side, he's only taking out $27. So this employee has a balance of savings in their business of $73, right? Now, again, remember to note that I said that there's compensation going into their Index Universal Life policy, so they're going to pay themselves out of this policy. Again, that's a whole nother conversation with your CPA, right? So I want you to notice the difference in these two sides. On the left side, they're paying their kids an allowance, but on the right side, this employee has this business owner has their kid employed in their business, and they're getting the deduction. That's the two different mindsets. The employees is thinking, okay, I'm going to pay my kid an allowance. The business owner said, let me put my kid in the business and let them work. Let me have a job description created for them and let them work in my business. That business, they could be using, they could be performing marketing services. They could be performing cleaning services. They could be performing some type of social media services. Anything that employee wants to have their kid do in the business, they have it well defined and they have a job description. So again, my aspiring entrepreneurs, I want you to continue to pay close attention to this right part of the screen, because it's a different mindset. It's a different shift. And I want you to make sure you understand this right part of the screen, right? And if you don't, there are some things that we're going to talk about so you can really get to know and understand this business side of this right side of the screen here, right? And so let's talk about the deductions for which the business owner gets, right? So employees, you got your itemized deductions where you get on your tax return, right? And that, your itemized deduction may consist of your home interest, car taxes and things of that nature, and medical expenses, depending on it meets a certain threshold, right? And there's a couple other itemized deductions. But in terms of business owners, it's a whole nother scale of deductions, over hundreds and hundreds of deductions that they can take, right? So again, on the prior screen, we talked about hiring an employee, hiring a family member as an employee, right? And so I have it highlighted at the top of these bullet points. Deduction for hiring kids as an employee, and it's legal. Publication 15 of the IRS publication talks about that. You can look it up. You can go to the IRS's website and just pretty much, said hiring family members, employees, and you'll see that come up if you have questions about it. There's also the holiday gifts for clients, right? You have your season coming up where Christmas is coming up, and those business owners that want to buy their clients gift, there's a threshold which they're limited to, but they can buy their clients gifts, and they pretty much can write that off as a tax deduction. There's training and conferences that business owners can write off. There's car leases that business owners can write off. There's travel expenses that business owners can write off. That includes the trips, the lodging, and the transportation, and any type of entertainment that business owner is on, they get to write that off. There's marketing expenses. There's your office lease, right? If you have an office, out in the marketplace, you can write that off. Or if you have a home office that you're using for your business, you can write that off. It's tax deductible. You have your actual client lunches. If you want to take your clients out to lunches, you get to write that off. That's tax deductible. You have your technology and tools, so your iPads, your laptops, your virtual tools that you're using for your virtual meetings. All of those items are tax deductible. You have your insurance premiums that you're paying, tax deductible. You have your professional organizational membership dues. It is tax deductible. And again, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tax deductions, but I wanted to highlight some of these key benefits for the business owners. Again, my business owners, they know this. My aspiring entrepreneurs, I wanted to highlight this for you because you're still thinking about starting a business in 2024 or beginning of 2025. And I want to motivate you to go ahead and get started with that business now so that when 2025 comes in, you'll be up and running and ready to rock and roll. So let's talk about, the hiring employees as kids, right? Because I know a lot of you have some questions about that. Now, I'm going to provide you a little bit more details about it, right? And so those of you, let's say you have kids that you want to hire in your business, right? And you want them to you may want them to post social media posts on a consistent basis, right? Because you're tied up and you don't have time to do this type of work. So it's mundane. So instead of hiring a virtual office assistant, your kids may possess the skill set, or you can teach them and you can have them constantly post social media posts on your social media handles. Again, you can pay your kids to do this versus trying to hire someone else. And you get to write it off because right now you're already giving them an allowance. Put them in your business, hire them, and pretty much have a job description created for them and have them do the work. That's all you have to do. And you can write that off as tax deductible. And I want you to pay close attention to here, right? Because I got to note that payments of up to $13,850, the kids, right, under the age of 18 will not pay taxes on that. Now, you can pay your kids more than $13,850, but I'm letting you know $13,850 or less, your kids won't pay taxes. And why? Because the standard deduction is $13,850. $13,850 minus $13,850 is what? Zero. So that means that since the standard deduction is equal to the amount that you want to pay your kids of $13,850, they're not going to pay a dime of taxes. And again, if you want to pay them more than that, you can, but there will be tax on the amount that is over $13,850. Again, as long as you have that defined job description for the kids, they're going to be good to go, and it's legally and well documented. You can pretty much hire your kids in your business, guys. Now, rolling off to the gifts, right? Now, as business owners, you may have clients that you want to buy gifts for, right? And so you're limited to a threshold of $25 per client. Now, that's the limit on that. You can only do $25 per client. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that, $25 per client. But again, you're coming up on Christmas. You may want to just buy your client some gift to show them some type of appreciation for them being a client. And this is the perfect time to do that. So just wanted to give you a heads up that you can do that. Now, For my aspiring entrepreneurs who may say, you know what, Tyrone, I really want to start my business, but I really don't have the money right now. Money is really tight, right? And here's what I will say to you. If you're an individual where you're getting, money back at the end of the tax season, during tax season, right? Where you're getting money back and this money is like excessive. And what do I mean by excessive, right? So right now in the US, the average tax refund for 2023 was $3,160, right? And so what that simply means is that you're overpaying the government somewhere, right? So I understand that a lot of you get your pretty much your credits, right? Which add some additional money to your, refunds. I understand that you're getting credit money, right? And I get that. But if you're having federal taxes taken out on top of credits and you're averaging somewhere, upwards of 3,167 or let's say 2,000 or 1,000, and some of this money that you're getting back is simply because you have too much taxes taken out on your W-4, what you should do is go to your tax preparer or your CPA or whoever's preparing your taxes and say, hey, I'm interested in starting my business. I want to get started with my business. And in order for me to get started on my business, I need to get my actual money now. Can you adjust my W-4? Not only can you adjust my W-4, can you make a recommendation so that I adjust my W-4 and receive some of my money back now? That way I can take that money and invest in my business. That's what you should go to your CPA or tax preparer and ask them to do. And if your tax preparer or CPA cannot look at the historical data of your past refunds and be able to make a determination on how to adjust your W-4 so that you can get some of your money or all of your money back during a year, then you may want to kind of look at finding a new tax preparer or CPA, because that something is really wrong if they can't really give you a recommendation on how to adjust your W-4 so that you can get some or all of your hard-earned money back now, right? And the reason why I'm suggesting this because you got to remember, when you get tax refunds back, you're not going to get interest back from the government on that money. They do not give you interest back on the money. I'm telling you. So I know this doesn't happen, and it hasn't happened during my lifetime. And I'm not going to say it's not going to happen in the future, but during my lifetime, it hasn't happened. Hasn't happened during my parents or my grandparents' lifetime. The government has not been giving interest on pretty much on refunds. I can tell you that now. So it will benefit you to start getting some of your money back now to invest in your business, aspiring entrepreneurs. So just want to kind of give you a heads up. That's one of the ways that you can go ahead and start investing in your business now. So to talk about the business, to talk about all the things that we foresee that's happening with business for my aspiring entrepreneurs who are seeking to get started with business, we're having a workshop. And again, this is a workshop because expectation is that you're coming there to work. You've already watched all of my videos on how to get started with a business. You've already watched all my videos that talks about business credit, but for some reason you just haven't got it started yet. You really need someone to walk along with you, to talk with you, to guide you. And that's what we're going to be doing during this workshop. December the 28th, Saturday, December the 28th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be talking about and walking alongside with you with business formation, on setting up your business properly, identifying the correct classification code, the NAICS code, so that your business is going to be set up for a business credit the right way, right? We're going to be talking about and walking alongside with you with regards to setting your address up for your business, right? We're going to be walking alongside with you on the right way to set up your business phone number so that can report to the 411 directory, right? We're going to be walking through you to showing you the right way to establishing your tax ID. We're going to be walking with you to ensure that you establish your business domain, your email, and your website. This is important to ensure that you have all of this set up correctly. We're going to be, talking to you about business credit, because All of these steps are important to ensure that you set up your business the right way for business credit. And what we're charging for this workshop is $49. That's all that we're charging. So there's a payment link at www.bizsetup.imgtsol. So I want you to take note of this, write it down, go to that payment link and make your payment of $49.95. And again, we're going to have this workshop on December the 28th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now, I can tell you right now, I can charge thousands of dollars for this workshop, right? I can easily charge thousands of dollars. But, it's the holidays. I know that my aspiring entrepreneurs, a lot of you are going to go up there and spend, money on gifts. I get that. And I can still charge $1,000. But the goal here, I want you to take the next step to get your business set up, get it set up the right way. And so that when 2025 rolls in, your business is already set up. And also, while you're setting up your business on the last couple of days of 2024, those expenses that you're starting up your business with, that's a tax deductible write-off because you're starting up your business. Those are business startup costs. So I encourage you to take advantage of this workshop. The other thing that you're going to get also on this, ladies and gentlemen, which I'll share with you on the next slide, is that we're going to have monthly coaching calls on the third Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So these monthly coaching calls are for my aspiring entrepreneurs and my existing business owners. And these calls are going to be important because on these calls, you're going to be able to bring your, concerns, any questions that you have about anything that you see that's going on with your business. This is going to be the opportunity for you to talk with me on the third Saturday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to address your questions and your concerns during those calls. It's going to be a 1-hour call. Now, for my aspiring entrepreneurs who sign up on Saturday, for the January call, you're going to be included in that call and you won't have to pay extra money for the January call. Because what's going to happen, right? For this call, the monthly calls that I'm having is $49.95 per month. Now, if you decide that on the coaching calls that you only need one call, that's fine. You can drop off at any time, right? But if you decide you're going to continually need calls, it's just going to be $49.95 a month. But for my aspiring entrepreneurs who sign up for the business setup call, who sign up for the business setup of setting up your business the right way, you're going to be included in the January call and you won't have to pay extra money for the January call. So you get the business setup and the January call that's included for that setup. Okay. Just want to make sure I noted that. And so what you'll start doing, if you decide you need additional coaching calls, you'll pay in February. That's it. But for my business owners who already have their business set up, your calls is going to be $49.95 a month. And again, you just pay as you need. And if you don't need, you don't pay. And again, the actual link for that is the www.bizcalls.imgtsol. And again, it's $49.95 a month, each month for those calls. So that's it in a nutshell. So I hope you guys, was able to document and write this information down. And of course, this video is going to be offered on a replay where you can come back and watch the video and take the pertinent information to really making an intelligent decision for your business. But I really thank you for your time on today. Hope you enjoyed today's webinar, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and enjoy. And we'll be talking to you soon. I'm looking forward to much success and doing business with you in 2025. Thank you.